Welcome to Dark and Hunting Tales. In this series, we'll uncover dark secrets and spine-chilling stories that lurk behind the closed doors. Get ready to step into the realm of the paranormal, where the line between the living and the dead becomes blurred. Are you ready to explore the supernatural? Then let's begin. I'll never forget the chilling tale of the cursed painting that my family and I encountered. A tale that continues to send shivers down my spine. It all started when we moved into a beautiful old house in a quiet corner of Texas, unaware of the horrors that awaited us. The house, with its creaked floors and antique charm, felt like a perfect place to start a new life together. But there was one room that piqued our curiosity. A small, dimly lit chamber with walls adorned with an array of peculiar paintings. It was as if this room held secrets from a bygone era. Among the paintings, one stood out, a portrait of a sinister-looking woman with piercing eyes that seemed to follow us wherever we went. Her expression was malevolent, and the brush strokes had a hypnotic quality that drew us in despite our unease. As weeks turned into months, strange things began to happen. Objects in the house moved on their own, and eerie whispers echoed through the halls at night. The air grew heavy with an unexplained chill, and we found ourselves sleepless, haunted by restless dreams. It didn't take long for us to realize that the cursed painting was at the heart of these disturbances. The sinister woman seemed to come to life at night, her image flickering and shifting within the frame. Her eyes bored into our souls, and we could feel her malevolence seeping into every corner of the house. One fateful night, as we lay in our beds, we heard a disembodied voice, chillingly familiar, calling us from the cursed painting. It beckoned us to enter the world trapped within the canvas, promising answers to the mysteries that had plagued us. Driven by morbid curiosity and the hope of ending our torment, we hesitantly touched the painting, and in an instant, we were drawn into a nightmarish realm, a cursed world beyond the frame. The landscape that greeted us was a twisted, distorted version of our own reality. The sky was a shade of green, and the air was thick with an unsettling stillness. The sinister woman from the painting stood before us, her eyes now glowing with a malevolent fire. She explained that she had been imprisoned in the painting centuries ago by a vengeful sorcerer. To break free, she needed to transfer her curse onto another soul, and we were the chosen victims. Panic surged through us as we realized the true horror of our situation. In this cursed world, the laws of reality seemed to bend and wrap. Time moved erratically, and the landscape shifted unpredictably. We were pursued by grotesque creatures that seemed to exist solely to torment us, and the very ground beneath our feet seemed to conspire against us. Days turned into an eternity, and hope dwindled with each passing moment. We had to find a way to escape this cursed realm and break free from the malevolent clutches of the sinister woman. Desperation drove us to search for answers within the twisted landscape. We uncovered ancient ruins and cryptic symbols that hinted at a way to reverse the curse. It was a perilous journey, fraught with danger and despair, but we had no choice but to press on. As we ventured deeper into the cursed world, we encountered spectral apparitions and nightmarish trials that tested our resolve. The sinister woman's presence loomed over us, her laughter echoing in our ears, a constant reminder of the darkness that had ensnared us. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, we discovered the key to breaking the curse, a hidden chamber containing a mirror that held the power to reflect the curse back onto the sinister woman. With trembling hands, we activated the mirror, and the cursed worm began to unravel. As the sinister woman screamed in torment, we were transported back into our own world, the cursed painting's malevolence dissipating. We had survived that nightmarish ordeal, but the memories of the cursed painting and the horrors of the cursed world would forever haunt our dreams. We had dared to enter a world trapped within a painting's frame, a world of ancient evil and malevolent forces. And though we had emerged victorious, we knew that the darkness of the cursed painting would forever linger in the corners of our minds, a chilling reminder of the horrors that can lurk within the realm of the supernatural. I'll never forget the summer that changed everything for me and my group of friends. We were adventurous, always seeking new thrills, but we had no idea that the terrifying encounter with the ghost ship would forever haunt our memories. It was a clear evening when we set sail on our small boat, eager for a weekend of fun in the open sea. The ocean stretched out endlessly for us, and the salty breeze filled our lungs as we laughed and joked. Little did we know that our carefree adventure was about to take a nightmarish turn. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we spotted it on the horizon, a phantom ship, ethereal and eerie, with tattered sails rolling in the ghostly wind. We couldn't believe our eyes. We'd heard legends of such ships, but we never thought we'd encounter one. Curiosity got the better of us, and against our better judgment, we decided to investigate. We steered our boat toward the spectral vessel, drawn by an irresistible haunting pull that seemed to emanate from its very core. As we drew closer, a bone-chilling silence descended upon us. The ghost ship was unlike anything we had ever seen. Its wooden hull was weathered and worn, covered in barnacles and moss. Its sails were ragged, and its mast creaked ominously. But what sent shivers down our spine were the ghostly figures that lined the deck, apparitions of sailors long gone, their faces etched with despair. We boarded the ghost ship cautiously, our hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and fascination. The air was cold and thick, with an otherworldly chill, and a heavy fog hung in the air. It felt like we had stepped into a different realm, a place where time had no meaning. As we explored the ship's interior, we found relics of a forgotten era, rusty cannons, decrepit cabins, and captain's quarters filled with eerie tattered maps. The ship's log revealed a tragic tale of a crew lost at sea, forever trapped in a cursed voyage. Suddenly, the ship's eerie call grew louder, and we realized that we were not alone. The ghostly crew had awoken from their spectral slumber, their hollow eyes fixing on us with a hunger for something we couldn't comprehend. With a chilling, unearthly moan, the apparitions descended upon us. They reached out with icy skeletal hands, their fingers like death's grip. We fought back, but our weapons passed through them as if they were made of smoke. Panic set in as we realized that the ghostly crew had no intention of letting us leave. Hours turned into a nightmarish eternity as we were pursued by the relentless spirits. We were trapped on the ghost ship, and it became clear that we were becoming a part of its cursed crew, forever bound to sail the seas as lost souls. In our desperate struggle for survival, we scoured the ship for clues to break the curse. It was only when we discovered an ancient ornate lantern hidden in the captain's quarters that we realized our chance for escape. With trembling hands, I lit the lantern, and its ethereal flame burned with an otherworldly brilliance. The ghostly crew recoiled from the light, their agonized cries piercing the air. It was our only chance. As we made our escape from the haunted vessel, the ghost ship began to fade into the distance, its mournful wails echoing in our ears. We had survived the harrowing encounter, but the memories of those spectral sailors and their cursed ship would forever haunt our dreams. We sailed back to shore, forever changed by our ordeal. Our friendship strengthened by the shared horror we had endured. We had encountered the ghost ship, a vessel of lost souls, and lived to tell the tale. But the call of the open sea would never be the same for any of us. For we had a glimpse of the darkness that lurks beyond the horizon, a darkness that can consume all who dare to answer its haunting call. The story I'm about to tell you is one I'll never forget. The tale of me and my friends and our harrowing encounter with an abandoned asylum. It all started on a gloomy autumn evening when my friends and I were looking for something thrilling to do. We'd heard rumors about an old abandoned asylum on the outskirts of town. Its haunting history and the mysteries that shrouded it had piqued our curiosity. So we decided to embark on an adventure like no other. As we approached the forsaken building, its crumbling facade loomed ominously against the fading light of day. Vines and reeds had claimed the structure, and shattered windows stared at us like hollow eyes. The eerie silence that hung in the air sent chills down our spines. With flashlights in hand, we entered the asylum through a broken door, our footsteps echoing in the desolate halls. The air inside was heavy with decay, and the walls seemed to whisper tales of the tormented souls who had once resided here. As we ventured deeper into the asylum, we couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced in the walls, and strange sounds echoed through the corridors. It was as if the building itself was alive, and it didn't want us there. In one room, we discovered old, rusted restraints, and in another, discarded patients' files that chronicled stories of pain and suffering. The asylum had been a place of torment, and the energy of that suffering still lingered in the air. But it was when we reached the basement that we encountered the true horrors of the asylum. The room was filled with rusty surgical instruments, and the pungent odor of decay hung in the air. The walls were adorned with crude drawings depicting scenes of madness and despair. Suddenly, a chilling cry pierced the silence. We spun around, our flashlight trembling in our hands. It was as if the tormented souls of the asylum were reaching out to us, their cries for help echoing through the darkness. Panic set in, and we rushed to leave the basement, but the door had slammed shut behind us. We were trapped, and the cries grew louder, filling our ears with unbearable anguish. As we frantically searched for an escape, we noticed a flickering light at the end of the corridor. It led us to a small hidden room with a dusty old journal. It belonged to a nurse who had once worked in the asylum. Her entries revealed the horrors that had occurred here, experiments on patients, and the suffering they endured. With trembling hands, we read on, hoping to find a way to appease the tormented spirits. The nurse had mentioned a ritual that could set them free, a ritual that required us to confront our own fears. Summoning our courage, we followed the instructions from the journal, each of us facing our deepest fears in a nightmarish ordeal. It felt like an eternity, but at last, the cries of the tormented souls began to subside. The basement door creaked open, and we fled from that asylum, leaving the haunting building behind. We had survived our encounter, the abandoned asylum, but the memories of the tormented cries and the horrors we had faced would forever linger in our nightmares. We had dared to enter a place of darkness and despair, and though we had escaped with our lives, we knew that the echoes of the asylum's tormented past would forever haunt us, a chilling reminder of the terrors that can lurk in the shadows of the forgotten. Thank you guys for joining us on these terrifying stories. If you enjoyed the video and want to experience more bone-chilling stories, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and turn on post notification. Until next time, sleep tight if you can.